Hello there. What do you do when it seems your life is moving slowly? What do you do when it appears your friends are moving ahead in life and it seems you're stuck? What do you do when it appears your friends are getting all the scholarships, they're getting the admission, they're getting married, and everything is working smoothly for them? But it seems your life is moving just slowly. What do you do? Well, today I'm going to be sharing 4 inspiring stories on patience that I believe is going to change your life forever. And I mean that, forever. My name is Jonathan Obise, and this is a Life and Truth podcast. If this is the first time you're coming in podcast, I encourage you to go to all of my social media accounts, Jonathan Obise, follow me, like the page, engage with the page, and also visit my website, jonathanobise.com. You'll be able to listen to all the previous episodes that I so believe is going to be a tremendous blessing to your life. So today I'm going to be sharing on 4 stories on patience that will change your life forever. Now, the first person I'm going to talk about is the life of Joseph. Now, Joseph is someone who went from the pit to the prison to palace and then to prime minister. But you must remember that Joseph, like every one of us, never believed that his own brothers would throw him into the pit. He never believed that he would be blackmailed at some point and be thrown into the prison. But you see, all of that process was necessary to build his character to become the prime minister in a foreign land, such that God used him to preserve not just his family but the nation of Israel and also the nation of Egypt, and of course other nations that came to Egypt for food during the time of famine. So we see that God transforming his life because of his patience, going through the process and making him into what he had in store for him. The other character I want to share with you, or the other story I want to talk about, is the life of Job. Job was a man who was blessed of God. The Bible says he was the richest, he was blessed in the whole of the East at the time. And then the devil struck. And when that happened, all of his fortune, his business, his family, his kids, everything gone except one of his wives. Now, with all of that had happened to Job, and then the sword came, and the sickness, and his wife telling him to deny God, and just die, Job was patient. At the end of the day, God replenished all that he had lost, and God restored him so that he was blessed, even far, far, far above what he had before. The next story I want to share with you is the life of Abraham. Abraham was someone who God had given a promise. Now, Abraham waited for God until he was 100 years before the promise was fulfilled. But that one single promise trumped all the years of waiting and the years of trusting God. God blessed him and expanded him and gave him above and beyond what he would thought he would ever have. And then lastly, I want to talk about somebody in our contemporary time. If you're familiar with cryptocurrency, you've probably heard of something called Dogecoin. Now, Dogecoin was founded by, was co-founded by someone called Billy Marcus. Now, at the time when it was founded, after founding it was just like a joke or something. However, the story is this: he sold all of his Dogecoin. Now, as we speak, as at today, as at 22nd of September, the last data, Dogecoin is worth about $29 billion. But he sold all of his Dogecoin to buy a second-hand Honda car. Now, Dogecoin is worth over 2 times, multiple times, the total market capitalization of Honda has it today. But he sold that because of lack of patience. Now, there are lessons we need to learn from this. 1, like Joseph, like Job, like Abraham, let nobody rush you. Your time will come. It doesn't matter. It may appear that your friends are well ahead of you right now. Things are working well for them. The lines are falling for them in pleasant places. It may seem so right now, but it doesn't mean your own time will not come. If you're patient enough, you go through the process like Joseph. You endure all the rigors. Life is not a bed of roses. And you endure all the things that would happen in life. Eventually, God will give you that beautiful future. That wonderful future, not a future where you're trying to look over your neck, not a future where you're trying to look, over your shoulders and all of that. You probably have wealth, but you don't have peace, and then somebody is chasing you because the means of livelihood is illicit and all that. No, 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 no. A future filled with hope and full of rest, like Joseph, God can give you. Let nobody rush you. Right? Have you not heard some people say, oh, married yet and blah 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 blah, things like that? Have you not heard of those who rushed into marriage and are wishing they never jumped into it? Or wishing, oh, how I wish I took more time, how I wish I asked more questions, how I wish I researched more, and all of that. Let nobody rush you. Your own time will come. Number 2, in life, overtaking is allowed. Now, when Joseph was going through all of those things, there were people there were individuals whose life, was just, I would say, seamless, was just going normal, they just enjoy life and all of that. But eventually, when God made him a prime minister, he overtook all those that were ahead of him. The same thing also happened with Job. When it seemed like he has lost everything, there were those who didn't lose nothing, and they were probably in the business circle, in career-wise, they're like, oh, we're now ahead of him, we now have more business, more clients, our business is doing well and everything. But eventually, when God restored what Job had lost, he overtook them. Overtaking is allowed. Some of your friends probably have gotten scholarships, gotten awesome jobs and things like that. Don't get envious. Don't pity yourself. Don't put yourself in a place where you're sort of, oh no, everything is just not working. My friends are ahead of me. Stop comparing yourself with them. When God decides to bring the blessing into your life, when God leads you, He can take you from zero to hero. He can take you from a place of nothing and place you well ahead of them. So relax and trust God. And of course, trust God with your present and your future. He knows the end from the beginning. Don't give in like the founder of Dogecoin. He gave in too early, and then he would have become a multi-billionaire if only he just held on. But because he gave in too early, he threw in the towel and bought a used Honda Civic car. Today, what he threw away is worth billions of dollars, even worth more than the total market capitalization of the company for which he bought a second-hand used car. So trust God for now, trust God for your future. Don't give in. If you endure like Joseph, you endure, you're patient like Job, and then you're patient like Abraham, God eventually will turn your story around. Don't be like the founder of Dogecoin, who threw all that he had built just for instant gratification. Be patient. God will make you enjoy all that He has planned for you. Eventually, you will see the fruit of your labor, and you will see all the glory that God has placed in your heart. The Bible says that they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Have that in your mind. Let it become revelation in your heart. Let it become rhema in your spirit. If you wait on God, you will not be put to shame. If you wait on God like Joseph, He will elevate you. He will place you on a pedestal of glory, on a pedestal where you will be a blessing to your family, you will be a blessing to your nation, you will be a blessing to your community, you'll be a blessing to as many whose life cross path with you. I encourage you, be patient, and you will receive the reward of your patience. I want to believe this has been a blessing to you. Please do not hesitate. If you listen up to this point, do not hesitate to like, to share, and make sure that as many persons as you know get to listen to this, so they can encourage their hearts. And I trust to bring you more episodes that will be life transforming and life changing on the next time we meet. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless you, and bye-bye.